Welcome back to another Titan Esports interview. This time we are talking to the Winter 2025 Titan Conqueror champions. Syndicate, like a dragon, we got 4/5 of the roster today. Missing Mojo, but we got CZ, we got Izzo, Firemana, and Reds Noxus. First off, guys, congratulations on the victory, on the championship, the trophy. You guys were able to pull out the victory, a 3-2 against Syndicate Reboot card in that grand final. And I guess I'll start. This question is open to anyone, whoever wants to answer. You guys can take turns, or if you feel one person kind of answers it well enough, then we'll just go with one. But talk to me about that series, and it was a close one. What was running through your minds while the series was going on, and how did that one feel for you guys?
Shit, I'll go. I mean, so like leading up and like during playoffs, we were scrimming Syndicate Reboot card like a lot, or at least like 3/5 of them. Like most of our scrims were them, and so going in, we were like destroying them in like all of our scrims. So personally, I was feeling pretty good. I was ready for a 3-0, but we go into the game and the Viego was kind of just cooking for them. Like the Viego Faris combo was really good. So once we kind of figured that out, we were down 1-2, and we banned the Viego Faris. We take it ourselves, we win. I'm feeling good at that point. And then game 5 was just absolute madness, but we have the best mental in the business, so we stuck it out and we took the W.
I agree about the mental, man. We're obviously we had pretty much a super clean split, all things considered. No one really messed with us, so we were kind of like cruising. But I think that series really showed that we deserved to win. We had like coming back from that deficit, you really got to be strong mentally, and you got to really trust each other. And that's something that we built throughout the entire split. We always trust each other, no matter what. So we knew we had it as long as we just like locked in, and we tried to take that mental reset and just like we just zoned everybody out and just cooked.
Yeah, you guys did, and also the fact that your quarterfinal matchup was a 3-0, your semifinal matchup was a 3-0. So to be thrown into now a 5-game series, being down 2-1 for the first time in the playoffs, in the grand finals, the pressure's on, and you guys were able to battle through. After that dominant season, I mean, that's definitely kind of the cake on top there. You guys must have been feeling pretty good after clutching that one up. And I'm going to talk to each of you individually now. We'll start with you. We'll go from top all the way down to support, even though Mojo isn't here. We'll just go in that order. CZ, talk to me about how you felt you grew as a player over the course of the season. You ended up getting onto the second team All-Pro, and maybe the competition you faced over the course of the split. How do you feel in terms of your own satisfaction, in terms of your own growth? How did you feel this split went for you?
I feel like in the couple of splits that I've been in Emerald, I feel like this is by far one of my more, I would say, complete splits. As a player, I really felt like I grew in a lot of categories that before I would just like, I felt like I was like worried about it all the time, but this split, I really felt like I was like on top of a lot of things I need to be on top of, you know, not dying carelessly, farming pretty well, just making sure my team doesn't have to worry about top lane and they can focus on what they got to focus on. And I think I really understand my position in every team I'm on. That's my number one thing. Like if I'm just playing willy-nilly, I don't want to be a detriment to the team. I want to make sure if anything goes wrong, at least you guys know that I could at least pull my weight. So I felt like it really helped playing with them especially, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Nice. And now you, Izzo, third team All-Pro as a jungler. You had games where, especially your Viego games, you had a lot of great games that time, sometimes being the carry of the team in the jungle, sometimes taking the back foot to take that more setup role. And just echoing the same question I gave to CZ there, how do you feel the split went for you as the jungle player?
I felt pretty good about it. I mean, as far as wins go, we had the most. I kept saying throughout the split, you know, wins is the jungler stat because you know, sometimes you're playing the Zac and, you know, you're getting a lot of assists, you're setting up kills, you're not getting a lot of farm, but you're winning in objectives, towers, and you're winning the game, right? So, you know, I'm actually super happy that I somehow got third team All-Pro jungle because my stats were pretty dog. But yeah, it's just, I'm just glad that we got the wins that we got.
And now I'll go to you, Firemana. And I actually probably should have included this in my question with CZ as well, but a little bit before your guys' grand final, I had you and CZ on for a trash talk video with Espada and Jacob, and you guys were going back and forth, going at it before the big grand final. Same question I asked CZ and Izzo, but how do you feel now after beating Jacob, after you two exchanged a whole bunch of words afterwards, now that you get the last laugh?
I don't know. I think for the most part, what we said in the 2v2 interview was just that I think our lane was going to be friendly, not super back and forth, not super aggressive. And for the most part, it wasn't, because he locked Azir 4 games in a row. But I think for the most part, I just played around my team better. And as far as like growing over the split, like I've always been a mid laner who isn't necessarily going to like stomp lane or solo carry the game. I play around my team really well, and I think I improved on that even further just over the course of the split, playing with Izzo in the jungle and playing for our bot lane, which is how we won most of our games.
Yeah, being that role player, and that was a little bit of what CZ was talking about too, knowing your role within the team and being able to be flexible and not necessarily about getting all the resources. You can be effective doing other things on the map as well. Now we'll move down to the bot side. Obviously Mojo isn't here, but Reds, you and Mojo both were able to get yourselves onto the first team All-Pro, a dominant season, the two of you. Was this your guys' first time playing together on a team? Had you guys played before? What was it about you guys as a duo? And you can speak for Mojo as well here because he's gone. What was it about you two that allowed you guys to be such a dominant 2v2 down there?
All right, I will say this is my first split ever in competitive, so wow. I kind of went into it not knowing much. With Mojo, we've never played before, but it was just like an immediate connection. You could tell his passion for the game. He puts in a lot of hours behind the scenes that doesn't really get recognized, So, I mean, if I had to say like my MVP for the team, it would probably go to Mojo, just because he did so much for the scouting that, outside you can't really see that. So, yeah, I mean, it was lights out every lane. We were getting first blood just because we communicated so well, and it was effortless, honestly, playing with him. He gave me that award, I'll say.
Amazing. I mean, that's always awesome to see. That's the kind of synergy you want to see from your bot lane. To wrap up now, we've got your guys' thoughts on your season, the grand final matchup, the future now for you guys as players, and each of you can take the time to answer this yourselves. If you guys are parting ways, if you guys might be sticking together, what's the future of this Syndicate Dragon roster? Are you guys running it back? Are you trying to push to a higher rank in solo queue to go up to a higher league? What would that be for all of you?
Well, the goal for the team is to move up a division and play in a Diamond League next split. I know CZ and I are probably going to be on the same roster in Conqueror again next split, just with different jungle and bot lane. So, just across the board, I think we were planning on sticking together in some way or another.
We had a conversation about it, because obviously moving up is a big risk. It's something that's like, it's going to shake up a lot of stuff. It's not easy to be fair, but it's something that I feel like as a comp player, as people who love playing in this type of environment, playing in these type of leagues, I feel like that's something that you should always strive for. I don't think that we should be sitting in our ranks and just like being okay with just being the best in this area. We won. We saw how we stomped basically the entire damn league. So we're like, yo, even if Diamond is tough, I've never not adapted to my environment. So even if it's rough at first, I'm sure that we could get used to it.
Yeah, 100%. You work at it, you are able to, you definitely could do that. And that's interesting to hear from any of you guys. From any of the two that I didn't hear from, is there any plans that are different from what was already said, or is that kind of just the same, kind of the consensus there?
Yeah, we're just gonna, I think we had a really good split communication-wise. We had a really positive environment. I think we all like each other and we communicate really well in the game. So we're gonna try to stick together, see if we can up the ante and move up to the Masters Cup League.
Yeah, I'm really excited to face the better competition with the team. Right now, I'm in a BOL Diamond team, so just started that up a little bit ago, and just trying to face better competition, get better for the, Syndicate like a dragon, so we can go up to the Diamond Leagues and crush like we did. Or even, make it to playoffs, that would be nice. Just playing together, getting better. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love hearing that. The drive to get better, the drive to keep going, that competitive edge stays even after you do become champion. You think about what is next. So I think that's awesome. And honestly, good luck to all of you guys in those endeavors in the future. And before we wrap up here, I'll open the floor to all of you to give your final shout outs to wrap up your split here in Titan Conqueror as champions.
I guess I'll go first as I'm top lane. I'll shout out the entire org. I'll shout out Hep, shout out Loss for putting me on this team when I was homeless. I was like the fourth option for top lane, and it ended up working out. So, suck on that. But yeah, just shout out to them. Shout out to our coach, Animosity. He came in pretty early on, and even though he wasn't there all the time, the things he gave us were so vital to helping us like just understand and play the map better. Because we all know we had hands, but sometimes the brain, especially this elo, just like doesn't come to the equation. So shout out to all of them, and shout out to the leagues. Thank you for providing us an environment that we can play in and have a good time.
Yeah, shout out Coach, and shout out Conspiracy for being the third place team in Conk.
I just wanted to say thank you to Lost and Hep and everyone at Syndicate. I know Lost has been trying to get me on a team for like three seasons now, and I finally agreed to do tryouts for Syndicate, and I got put on, my favorite team that I've ever played with. Super wholesome environment. Everyone just gets along really well, and it's been a super fun experience playing on this team.
Yeah, I just gotta say the same thing. Shout out to Syndicate for putting us together, forcing me to meet like all these great people, and again, shout out to Mojo. I mean, he's not here, but
shout out to Mojo, bro.
We wouldn't be.
Mojo's the glue. Mojo makes this team work. Right. Mojo's our MVP, at least for me. He makes everything work, man. He's the best. I love Mojo.
Hell yeah. So wholesome. Shouting out a whole bunch of the squad, coaches, people who helped out. And that's going to wrap it up for the interview. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to join me today, and congratulations on the split win.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
That was Titan Conqueror's Champions Syndicate Like a Dragon. We may have more Champions interviews there in the future, so stay tuned for that. And next split as well. Summer split is starting soon, so if you want to participate, think about participating in that. And until next time, we'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.